A reading from the book of Genesis. Genesis 37, 3 through 4, 12, 13, 17 through 28. Israel loved Joseph best of all his sons, for he was the child of his old age, and he made him a long tunic. When his brothers saw that their father loved him the best of all the sons, they hated him so much that they would not greet him. One day, when his brothers had gone to pasture to guard his father's flocks at Shechem, Israel said to Joseph, "Your brothers, you know, are tending our flocks in Shechem. Get ready, I will send you to them." So Joseph went out after his brothers, caught up to them in Dothan. They noticed him from a distance, and before he could get to them, they plotted to kill him. They said to one another, "Here comes the master dreamer. Come on, let us kill him and throw him into the cisterns here. We could say that a wild beast devoured him. We shall then see what comes of his dreams." When Reuben heard this, he tried to save him from their hands, saying, "We must not take his life." Instead of shedding blood, he continued, "Just throw him into the cistern there in the desert, but do not kill him outright." His purpose was to rescue him from their hands and return him to his father. So when Joseph came up to them, they stripped him of his long tunic, and they threw him in the cistern, which was empty and dry. They then sat down to their meal. Looking up, they saw a caravan of Ishmaelites coming from Gilead, their camels laden with gum, balm, and resin to be taken down to Egypt. Judah said to his brothers, "What is it to be gained by killing our brother and concealing his blood? Rather, let us sell him to the Ishmaelites instead of doing away with him ourselves. After all, he is our brother, our own flesh." His brothers agreed. They sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver. The word of the Lord. Hi. So the Lord wants us to bring people together. And Devin, there's no one in this world that I know that does this better than you. This story of the family of Israel, better known as Jacob, is meant to show us what happened when a father fails to work to bring people together. Jacob was a terrible father, and that he treated Joseph better than his other sons and drove a wedge between his children. To make matters worse, he was so blind to his actions that he sent Joseph into a dangerous situation with his brothers. God's lesson for us is clear yet challenging. Rather than the instigator, we should be the one who brings people together. If we sense people are focused on finding fault in loved ones or acquaintances, we should work to bring those in conflict together. Think about how many times you have been with others and someone starts speaking poorly of another. It happens all the time to us. There are three ways that we tend to react to these situations. The first is to pile on. You know, you're yeah, you're so right. She's just such a blank. I don't need to tell you how unproductive that is. You already know. The second is to keep silent. Sometimes, while we don't agree with the person making an issue of things, we don't have the courage to speak up. While not quite as bad as the first option, this one is bad enough nonetheless, right? Now, what would Jesus do? What would God want us to do? How can we help to bring others together? What could you say right now that would pour water on the fire of hatred versus gasoline? Every situation has a different solution. With family members, it may be as simple as saying, "We shouldn't talk about each other that way." With an acquaintance, it may be something like, "Why don't you go sit down and let her know how you feel?" Whatever the words we choose, We should work together to be relief, not gasoline. Peace.